What I love most about pottery is that it's a slow craft, and I think now with this fast-paced culture that we have, it's really important for people to have a slow craft, to stop and unwind, and I think ceramics is absolutely perfect for that. Hi, I'm Charlie Dedane. I own Miek Ceramic House with my mother Miek, and this is the studio. So Miek Ceramic House started 2.5 years ago. It started because my mum and I, we've been making ceramics together since 2010. But we had so many people expressing interest, asking if we could teach them or asking if they could come into our studio and just kind of like hang out and watch us work, which we weren't very keen on. Our studio is quite small. So we did start this studio to share the craft essentially. And we always wanted it to have a cafe, to have the gallery store, so it had a little bit more of a community environment, like a nice welcoming aspect to it. So Miek Ceramic House is predominantly a school teaching ceramics. Throwing, hand building, glazing, they are our kind of core components that we focus on in teaching within our studio. We also have a very strong glazing focus, purely because that's what my mum studied her masters on. That was her specialisation. I've been doing ceramics ever since I was a kid with my mum in the studio. The society's really been gravitating towards crafts like ceramics. It forces people to not be on their phones, to unwind, and I think people are needing that more and more with the way that modern society is going. You have so many people move through the ceramic house and they learn the craft. Maybe they only do a couple of classes with you and then they move on. They just wanted an experience. But what we're doing with that is we're actually creating a wider pool of people that understand ceramics and understand the craft and how difficult it is, and that when you buy a ceramic piece that's worth $600, you understand why it's $600, because that ceramicist, not only did it take them X amount of hours to make that piece, it took them all the hours behind that to be able to be that skill level, to be able to make it. The process of making pottery will always start with the making. On the pottery wheel, first you are throwing the pot with the wet clay. Then once that clay has dried a little bit, you turn the pot upside down, and then the next step is called trimming or turning the clay. From there, your piece needs to dry for approximately 10 days. Then we cycle it through the first firing, which is called a bisque firing. After that, the piece is then ready for glazing. So the second firing is much higher, and that's really where the magic happens. That's where all these beautiful, vibrant colors come out in the glaze. That's when your piece becomes completely sealed, and it is a completely functional, food-safe vessel for you to take home. I think I love vases purely because I can be more creative with them. With a bowl, it has to be strictly utilitarian, a bowl or a cup, whereas with a vase, they can be just decorative. You can make it more of just a sculptural form, and I like my vases to feel like characters, and a lot of the time they are female forms, or they're quite architectural. For me, forms, it just should be a well-balanced, satisfying form, but I will continue to work and work a form until it's satisfying, until all the curves just tend to flow together. It's made me more accepting when things don't go the way that I want them to, which I think is a very good thing, and not to put such high expectations on things, and just to relax a little bit into it. Or if I'm not having a particularly great day, to sit down on the wheel for half an hour is very rewarding. So for me, it's kind of like I have found my own form of meditation. For me, being on the wheel is extremely relaxing for me now.